What's up, peeps? Tony O in with you. I'm here today to talk belts. More specifically, the Ultimax belt versus, I've got this in an Ultimax pack. This is the stock belt that came on my CFMoto UForce 1000XL. I took this belt off at about 1,500 miles. I replaced it with the UltimaxUA Performance drive belt. My original stock belt, I've kept it as a spare belt for the UForce because it's in really good shape. So this is a review of the Ultimax belt. So at 1,500 miles, we took this belt off. First thing I noticed is, of course, the gouge that you can see right there. I use a trailer. I tow my riding lawnmower with the UForce. So my 1000XL, it's not just for play, it goes to work, right? And you know, our first 1,500 miles may not, for as far as towing go, was not as rough as the second 1,500 miles, all right? So I just want to put that out there. But the gouge, okay? Now, the next thing that I want to kind of show, if I can, you can see that this belt, it's actually cracking in several different, I'm trying to get it in the right light for you there. But the belt itself is actually cracking in several different places. Now, I'm bending it to make it easier to see for the camera, but you don't necessarily even have to bend it to see. So you see right there, it's cracking. If I bend it, you can see it a little bit better. Right across there. So if we look at it here and here, we can see that all of that is like totally cracking. And then even along the sides, it's got little places that you can see there where it's missing a piece. It's sort of there as well. But the belt is really in bad shape. Now, if we look at the stock belt, now this belt has spent the last year out in the UForce, in the elements, sort of just like this belt, simply not getting used here. But this one has been out in the elements, in the UForce. As you can see, it's kind of holding the shape of being in the box there. I'm just not seeing any damage, and even if I bend it out in places, it hasn't been bent. You can see that the integrity of the belt is still there. Oh, I see the little something there. Let's take a look at that. Well, it doesn't appear to me to be a crack, but I'll show it to you there. The overall integrity of this belt's still there. I would feel comfortable putting it on there and actually just riding until some symptoms come up. Advantage to this belt: if you don't run it too long, like I said, it was showing symptoms. I would start the UForce up, and if I didn't let it warm up for a bit, it would be like I'm trying to shift it into gear, or I'd have a hard time shifting it into gear. Or if I got it into gear, I would have to turn it off to get it into neutral, because it wasn't engaging properly. It was like the clutch was kind of engaged. So far, since I've changed the belt out, and I do have another Ultimax belt on there, all right? For some reason, my dealership, I know R&G Performance, everybody with a UForce or CFMoto knows R&G and MSC, but I know R&G, they definitely recommend the stock Mitsubishi, whatever it is, the stock belt. But for some reason, my dealership, they recommend this. I don't know. But the upside to that is, you'll notice on here, this belt has a 2-year warranty. So the question is going to be, how easy is it going to be for me to get a replacement belt? Overall review of this belt, I don't think it is as good as this. And if you watch my videos on changing the belt on the UForce 1000XL, it's not something I want to do in the woods. Preventative maintenance here at home, I don't really mind it, but it's kind of difficult, and I don't like doing it because it is a little bit of work. This last time, if you watched my video, at 3,000 miles, belt change and inspection, I'm very glad I decided to inspect this belt. So with that being said, would I recommend the Ultimax belt? If you're going to do preventative maintenance on your belt, knowing that you'll get a replacement every time you need one, I'll do a follow-up video once I get my replacement, or see what happens when I do my warranty claim. So if you do preventative maintenance and you want a free belt, I say yeah. If you don't want to worry about it, which I'm kind of leaning, but now I've bought into the Ultimax family, so it's like, hey, do I want to do it for free? Until that fateful day happens that I have to actually change a belt in the woods, I may end up staying with the Ultimax, just because for $400 I've got insurance. And I say $400 because I want to say this is about $175 is what I pay at my dealership for this. I don't know what it would be if I bought it on Amazon, but I'm a small business owner, so I shop local. There we go. You know, for longevity and a surety that you got a good belt that's going to last on the UForce. And I say this with limited experience because, like I said, that first year in the UForce, it just wasn't used as rough as I used it in the second year. But literally now picking up these two belts, both being used about 1,500 miles, I can definitely just feel the difference handling them. But this belt plowed more snow, it towed more weight, and it got stuck in the mud. We did a lot more hardcore work and play with this belt than we did with the stock one. So, like I said, I've bought into the Ultimax. Now I've got free belts for life, right? Or life of the UForce anyway. So I'm kind of here. Had I not done this, I'm totally satisfied with the stock belt. But if CFMoto, Mitsubishi, RNG, somebody wants to send me a stock belt, and now that we really get some good use out of the UForce, I'll plow some snow. I'll do all the hardcore stuff we've done with this, with the stock belt, and then we'll compare the difference. But that's my review of the, again, UltimaxUA Performance Drive Belt. It's actually UA 485 for the UForce 1000. Until next time, I am Tony O. Peace.